Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesusjunkjournals, and we are getting ready to move on with this wisdom journal. So I'm just giving you an introduction and welcome, and here we are. And the next thing, I believe, is this detachable piece. So I'm going to set this aside and bring those pieces out. So we've got... And I mismarked these. There's 2 page 9s. It should be page 9, 10, and 11. So bring out page 9 and page 9 and page 11, and we'll put this thing together. Okay, so this is the detachable base part 1. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the label and ink these pieces, and then, which you don't need to watch me do all that, but, and then these, I'll go ahead and trim these down and ink those as well. Okay, so I've got all these inked, and so I'm going to take my scoring board, which is quickly becoming my favorite tool, and I'm going to go ahead and use this to score the lines. I'm still a little paranoid about hitting the right lines, so I do this, but let's see. Score that and score this one. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and fold and ink these two on the fold. And we're going to glue these and kind of stagger them just to add strength. This is the reason I did it this way, of course, is because our paper is limited to 8.5 by 11 with our printer. So I staggered it so it wouldn't have the seam in the same place and be weak. So I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Okay, so this is the very back of it. And this, you're going to actually fold this way. This will go here and this will go here. And then we'll glue these on the other page. That way that it's staggered. So go ahead and put the glue in. Make sure that this folds over it really well on this piece. And now you're going to put the other owl, because this is actually this picture split in half. So it's going to go over here. So put that up against the fold. And line it up with the outside edge. It's not going to be perfect, but we'll ink it and it will look great. Then flip it over, and this goes on this side. So I kept these owls to this piece because I thought they were cute. And, you know, since it's wisdom and that whole wisdom, you know, wise as an owl, I thought that was kind of cute. So I put that on there. And glue this on. And then let it fold, and then take your ink and hit it with that. And you could even put washi tape there if you wanted to. It's up to you. It'll make it a little harder to fold if you do that. And that one, ooh, I got that one a little tight. That one doesn't like it. But you just force it with your hands or your bone folder, folding bone, however you want to call it. And there you go. And then I'm going to fold this back and ink it. And that one doesn't need it. This one does. You can also take it over to the sewing machine and stitch it, which I think I will do when I'm finished. So then we have this sheet, and this is page, let's see, page 12. And these are pockets. So let me finish cutting those apart. Okay, and then you're going to ink all of these. Okay, and then you're going to stack these pockets. Let's see. So one will go like that, one will go like this. And same thing over here. Okay, and then set that aside because that's for something else. And then these go here. Actually, you know what? I put wisdom and wise as an owl, and it's not even going to show. Oh well. Well, let me think about this for a minute. Maybe I put them here. Maybe this becomes the outside. Let me think this through. Because it could actually go either way. So this could go here and here. And then this becomes the cover. So I think I'll do that. Because I don't want to lose my little sayings on there. This thing is so complex that as I went, I'd come up with an idea and do it, and then I don't see what happens until now. And make sure it folds okay. Use your folding bone to make it lay flat. And then I'm going to trim, I think, just a little bit on this one. And then hit it with ink because that covers a multitude of sins, as I always say. And then in the middle, we have a notepad. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Let me look at my mock-up. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, one more thing. Okay. So my original idea was to have a pocket on the edge of this, but again, it'll cover this up. And so I'm not going to put it on. I could put it on the back. Maybe I'll do that. And that's what this is for. This is supposed to be a double pocket. So I'm going to cut it out. And let's see, I want to, it's a double pocket. Let me show you the mock-up. So it's this. So you're going to cut those little divots. So you want to know where the dead center is so you can center your little cutouts. So I'm going to do it on the back, and this is 7 inches exactly. So the middle is 3.5. So let's see, the middle of 3.5 is 1.5 and then 1/4. So here-ish, and 3.5, and what did I say? 1 3/4. I'll just move it over here. 1 3/4. So that's where your sort of center of your circle will go, is there. And so I got my 2-inch punch, and I'm going to look at that middle line, just kind of eyeball it, and see if I can get it where I want it. And same thing here. And ink it. And then this can go on this edge here. So you're going to put glue around these edges and then one line in the middle. Put that on. And there are your 2 pockets. All right, well, we got it done. It wasn't quite the way I was supposed to do it from the original plan, but I think we got every pocket on that we could. There's 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. So now we're going to make a notepad. And that's what this piece is for. And so it is made to fold into 4 1-inch sections. So I'm going to get my scoreboard back out. And hopefully we'll do it in 1-inch sections. So there'll be, and so I'm folding it like this and like this, and hopefully like that. And if it's going to bind, I'm going to trim it back because these aren't going to show. So I'm just going to trim the edge off here so it doesn't bind it up. Trim this edge off. Okay. And there's a bone folder to get it really nice and flat. So what we're going to do is make a notepad that goes in the middle of this. So we need some more paper. So I'm going to take some of that paper that I stamped earlier. And you want it to be no wider than that. And so actually, okay, so let's just, this is, what did I say? Oh, this is 5 inch, no, this is actually like 5 1/4. So if you cut it 5 and you want it to fit, it's going to lay here. So you want this to be here. So like 6 1/2, 5 by 6 1/2 ish. Okay. Okay, so what I did is I have all different papers. Some of them are short and torn, and I need to center them though, because I'll make sure I catch it when I punch these holes. So I'm going to take my Crop-A-Dial, hope this goes through all of these layers, and punch 2 holes. And I'm going to use the bigger hole. So let's see, if I want, I better mark this. This is 5, and it looks like I need it to be 1.5 inch in. So like right there. And then 1.5 inches from this end. So something like right there. Okay, so, yep. And then you want to run string through it and tie it. And I'm going to use ribbon. I'm going to use Hug and Snug or Snug and Hug. And let me see if I have a blue that will go with this. This looks like it might. Or this gray. The gray looks like it would. See if I can get this pin to stick it through so I can grab it. And let's see, I want to tie probably a ribbon or a bow, I mean, so let's see. Maybe not that much. We'll try that. And put this through here. See if it's even, pretty even. And tie it in a bow. And there is your notepad. And then that will glue in the middle. So like right there. This will fold over it. And then this will tie into your journal. Now, before I glue this in, I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and do some stitching because it always looks better if you sew. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to take this whole thing over and just look for places where I can run some stitches. And then I'll be back and I'll show it to you. Okay, well that didn't take long because the only piece I could sew was this one because it's just 2 thicknesses of paper. I forgot that this has cardboard in it. So I'm not going to sew the edges of that. And obviously, if I wanted to stitch it, I should have done it before I glued everything in. So going forward, if there's something that I need stitched, I'll do it before I glue it to this journal. Okay, so whoops, not in there. That doesn't go in there. It goes in here. We are going to glue this in, and I guess I'll use, I'm trying to debate. Do I want to use, I think I might use Fabri-Tac and glue that in with that. Okay. Get that to where I can fold everything in. And it lays well. Put that over the stitching. I'm going to pull that up there. And so what you can do is untie the string and open this and replace the paper if you wanted to. so. Now this is made to sew into here. I mean, tie into here. Okay, so there is that. And then this folds over this. And that is, oh, it's those circles. Okay, so that's like that. Oh, and the journal, where did the journal go? And this goes in here. Too lazy to untie it, so I'm just going to put it in there like that. And so we've got the main pieces here that are going to fit in here. And that doesn't want to come in. I'm looking at what is going on. Oh, you know what? So at the very beginning, when I said to allow a gap there, I needed a bigger gap. It's just very tight. And so I think it's just one of those things. So it's kind of tight. Be sure that when you make yours, you allow that extra room. I should have allowed more room between those pieces when we taped it and glued it, because it needed a little more room. So that is where we are so far. So now we have a few pieces left. And this one says image for the cover, or whatever you like. And so I'm going to glue mine on the cover, what I'm calling the cover at this point is the panel, this panel. And so I'm going to ink it. I just think these seed catalogs are so beautiful. And so I've got 3 of them here that we're going to glue on panels just to dress everything up. So let me okay, so this just gets centered on the cover. And then we have 2 more on the next page, which is page 13. And this one goes over the right main panel on the inside. On the inside, let's see, underneath this, so that when you do remove it, you've got that. And you could make this a pocket, and I think I will. I'm just going to glue it 3 ways. So should I cut? I think I'll cut a little notch so I know it's a pocket. Just a small one. Okay, and then glue this, oops, on the other 3 sides. And just center that. And there's that pocket. And then this goes over it. And then this one goes over the big envelope. So that's the blue envelope. So that goes on this. Or I also said, wherever you like, if you have a better place for it, you could certainly put it where you want. And I did include a couple, I think, smaller versions of this one, because it's all of them, because they're so pretty. So you can make tags or whatever out of them. Okay, so she's got a blue dress on, so that kind of coordinates with, whoops, this envelope. Now this is going to come up, and actually I said earlier we were going to glue that. Well, you're not going to glue it or you wouldn't be able to use it. So it will be like this, and I think I'm going to wait. And let's see, I can glue this one down here. I'm so like gun shy because I've done some things and had to undo them. So it's like, oh, I think that's right. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue this flap here so that I can put this on here. Try to get the glue to run off in the corners just so the corners don't pop up and catch something and curl up later down the road. Okay, so that, and then this will shut there. And this actually is supposed to have a circle closure. I don't know that I want to put a circle closure on that though. I might just leave mine plain. You could put a circle closure on yours if you wanted to. I'll decide that later. Okay, so that is the end of the main kit. And this, let's see, pull this all up. So this is what we have so far. So now we're going to go on to the add-on kit in the next video and start to do all of those things. And those things are all going to go towards the front of this thing. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video. And if you did, click like, think about subscribing, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.